I need to wax lyrical about something. So rarely do my expectations meet or be exceeded by something that's adapted to screen. And this show that I binged watched all 10 episodes of since its release on Friday, I think.
Bloody hell.
Has exceeded my expectations massively. It's The Sandman on Netflix. Why, Netflix, do you keep me coming back for more? You know what I'm trying to do. You know I'm trying to get rid of you. And, they've done it again. They've done it again. The bastards have done it again. So, yeah, I'll give you a little run through what The Sandman is, because a lot of people assume it's Sandman from Spider-Man, which would make a completely different type of program. It's not. It's Neil Gaiman. So people that don't know Neil Gaiman, big Norse mythology, American gods, big
Excellent.
comic book writer. Yeah, a lot of that. So it's based on the DC Comics property, The Endless. Like I said, 30% less Marvel. Let's talk about DC today. Based on the property The Endless, which is basically, in a nutshell, DC's god concepts. But, so, they're not gods, they're concepts. You need to know the difference between that. So, these, is the word anthropomorphic when it's human-like?
Yes.
Is that the right word? Yeah, I didn't write that down. I'm going off script. Yeah, these anthropomorphic concepts are known as desire, delirium, destruction, death, destiny, despair, and dream. These are all a family, basically.
Oh, it's all your mates in the pub, isn't it?
Yeah. Big Dave and Big Death and Big Destiny. Yeah, so they're the 7 children of time and darkness. Some, like, more concepts that are basically gods. But they're not technically gods, because in DC and Neil Gaiman's lore, gods have to be believed in to exist, which is shown in, like, Good Omens and American Gods and stuff like that. If you don't believe in them, they're not gods. But these exist whether you believe in them or not, so it shows you how powerful they are as concepts in general. So, the plot of this show and the books, I think, Big, have you read some of these?
Not all, but I did read...
There's so many, though, isn't there?
a few volumes of The Sandman. Dropped off at one point.
Yeah. So this is the plot from the more famous runs of the books. It's because it's episodic as well. They get to put a load of the runs, separate runs in, and they do it justice, big style. So when Morpheus, he is Dream, aka the Sandman, is captured at the very beginning of the first episode and imprisoned for 100 years. All his tools have been scattered, and he has to recall all of his tools and fix his realm. His realm's called the Dreaming, and he has to restore order. Basic plot, simple plot. But what they do with this show, they use a full episode, the first episode, to get you to know these concepts and get you to know how certain humans do know who these are. You know, like Aleister Crowley and people like that.
Yeah.
The dark people, on the fringes of society, they know that these concepts exist, stuff like that. So most of the episodes running, they have their own story with like a grand narrative in the background leading to what I think is a really satisfying ending. Think X-Files, Monster of the Week type stories. Like, obviously there's 10 episodes, so each one's got an individual beginning, middle, and end. And then it just, at the end, you get a little piece of the main puzzle. You get, the locales are so good. You get Hell, for instance. And he has a duel, Dream has a duel with Lucifer, all the way to Hell on Earth, Florida. So the sets and locations are fantastic. The costume designs are impeccable. Like, I don't know if you've seen the trailers to this. Everyone looks exactly how they looked in the comics. And if you don't know what the comics look like as well, they're very strange, macabre comics. They're almost like visceral and Hellraiser-esque and stuff like that. The Mingin, do you know what I mean? And these people do look like... It's gothic. That's what I want to say. It's proper goth. The show and the books have Morpheus as the main character. So he's a living embodiment of humans' dreams and nightmares, and lives in his dream realm in which we all, us, visit every night when we go to sleep. So when you have a dream, that's his realm, and it's all linked to one thing. So those mornings when you wake up and you feel like you haven't had a dream, that's Morpheus having a day off. he's had a day off, or he's busy walking around humans because he's obsessed with humans as well. He doesn't understand them. So, and when you get deja vu, that's Morpheus bumping into you by accident, and he just fucks it up a little bit. So it shows the power that he wields. Now, I do have to mention, without going any further, that yes, this is a DC property, but this is not a superhero show in any way. In fact, it's got to the point where, like, in the continuity of the books, like, Morpheus affects every hero in the books. Like, remember Batman's nightmare scenario?
Yeah.
That's Morpheus doing that to him.
Right.
Showing him the future, because it's a balance. He likes to keep things balanced, so he's that guy. Obviously, big links and ties to Constantine, Hellblazer. It's the same thing. It's the same universe. And Constantine is kind of in this. Now, this is the clever thing. So, because Gaiman's on board with this, he's the guy that made it. He said, look, I want it away from this DC expanded universe because it's got such negativity towards it. Obviously, he still knows it's DC property and Warner Brothers is still attached to it. But instead of, because Netflix, I don't know if you know, Netflix have already got a lot of DC shows on there. They've got Lucifer, which is a DC property. A lot of people don't realise that's DC. It's got, what else has it got? I've written down a few. Archie. It's got the Riverdale, that's on there and stuff like that. And all that Flash and all the other stuff, he wanted it separately. So what he's done, he's gender swapped a lot of characters we know. So instead of John Constantine, we've got Joanna Constantine, which it's enough to make you think, is that them? Yes, it's them, but it's showing you that it's different. And Lucifer is obviously this handsome man. You've probably seen a little bits of the show where he's sauntering and kissing women and stuff. In this, they've gender swapped him to Gwendolyn Christie from Game of Thrones.
Oh, nice.
And it's fucking incredible. She is sensational as Lucifer Morningstar. Cast, again, it's incredible. It's got the likes of Tom Sturridge, who plays Dream, a.k.a. Sandman, a.k.a. Morpheus, many names. Gwendolyn Christie, like I said, Jenna Coleman, Boyd Holbrook, Stephen Fry, Charles Dance, and David Thewlis. Now, the reason I'm leaving David Thewlis to the last, because there is one episode 5, called 24/7. It's its own episode. You know how some shows do where it's barely in context to any of the rest of the show?
Yeah.
It's its own thing. It's the best hour of television I've ever watched in my life. And that is not just hyperbole. To the point where, if you're not interested in watching this show, please just watch that one episode. Mm-hmm. The concept of that episode is David Thewlis plays John Dee, a big character in the grand narrative of it, but he's in a diner, an American diner. He's got a jewel on him that he can basically make people do what he wants them to do. So he's bored. He's got a day off. And he's in this diner, and just a proper American diner where you get pancakes and stuff, burgers. And what he does, he gifts them all truth. All they speak are truths. Everything they say comes out of the mouth, it's just truth. And my God, humans are the most vile and vicious creatures of all time when they're not lying. It's fucking horrendous. It just, the chaos that it exudes, and everything about this one episode is just perfect standalone episode. And please, I know I'm waxing on too long about this, but the whole show's spectacular. I think everything. Did any of you watch Good Omens?
Yeah, I loved it. Superb show.
I need to watch that.
Yeah, Good Omens is very fun for the family, isn't it?
To a point, yeah.
This is an 18. There's blood, there's titties, there's willies. You know what I mean? It's just fucking gross. It's disgusting. It's throwing everything against the wall and it sticks, usually. Trust me. It's just it's just the mythos behind it all is fantastic. They've just nailed it. There are stuff that Stig likes. No, Stig loves an Easter egg. You will see a Batman figure on somebody's wall. You know what I mean? You will see a Flash figure or a Flash poster somewhere just to remind you of that little bit where you are. But none of them make an appearance. None of it's there. There is the only closest thing we've got to a superhero is a famous superhero's kid is in this, but it's pretty obvious who it is. Everything about it, I've never had that much joy from something that I also loved. it's fucking weird to say this, but I think you're better off watching this show than reading the books, and I adore the books. It's rare. It's one of those things where the show's probably better. It's getting good reviews critically.
I've heard good things.
Proper smash it in. Please just watch episode 5 if you're not going to. It's 10 episodes, so it's 10 hours of your life. I did it in a weekend, guys. You can do it. It's just, I've written so much more that I'm just not even looking at anymore because I've gone off topic anyway about it. Because I could go on all day. I could literally do a spoiler cast for the rest of my life on this show. It's just hit me so massively that it's made me feel like the main thing we're all going to talk about together is inconsequential to me. Because I watched that first.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I like that thing that we're going to be talking about all together. But this has just hit me so much more. I think it's stunning. It's sensational. It's my favourite thing Netflix have ever done. And that it's better than Stranger Things, it's better than The Witcher, it's better than anything they've done, it's better than Castlevania, it's better than all the good ones that they've done.
Oh, cool.
And I just know they're going to fucking cancel it. I know they are.
Well,
And it breaks my fucking heart.
Is it left open for more then, I take it?
Yeah. It ends at the perfect point where I thought it was going to end at the end of... Because obviously the comics, they went on for like 200, 300 issues and 40 different arcs and stuff. And it ends perfectly at a good point where you think, right, I know what's coming next. Because you've got to bear in mind, Dream is one of the 7 Endless. He's one of the family members. And we're focusing on him throughout the whole thing. There's 6 others that we can make. Do you know what I mean?
So they can just continue with someone else.
Absolutely. And still the characters we know and love from the first series can be in the others because they're a family. It's just perfect. It's actually perfect. And it's weird for me to say it. I've got no negatives about it whatsoever. And I think Sturridge, the guy that plays Morpheus, is going to be the new fucking... he's going to be the new Edward Cullen. He's brooding. He's like, you know, from what's it called, Twilight.
Yeah.
He's going to be that because he's got a look of him as well. What's his name again? Batman.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. He's the new him. Definitely. He's brooding. Cheekbones that could cut glass, and he's just
sparkle there.
A lot less sparkle. His voice. Do you know when you read books and stuff? Because obviously these are graphic novels. They're not comics. The graphic novels are massive. The tomes. And you know when you read sort of a character's voice in your head, don't you? They've nailed what I thought he sounded like, and that's rare. That is rare. Like when Ian McKellen did Gandalf first time. At first I went, "Oh, that's not my Gandalf," but then he becomes your Gandalf, doesn't he? Because it's just it's burned into you.
He is Gandalf.
Yeah, exactly. But this guy, he is Morpheus. He is. Oh God. Even the dress, the dress stupid as well. They're all stupid. Like they've done it perfectly. Like Desire is in it, and Desire is one of the family members, and it's still a gender fluid character played by a gender fluid actor. Do you know what I mean? They've just fucking done everything bang on. There's no. I've got no criticisms with it. If I would, it'd be that the ending doesn't end with a massive bang because that volume didn't end with a massive bang. It's just a setup to everything else. It's just, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. It absolutely fucking floored me.
Cool.
Just watch episode 5 if you're not going to watch any of the others, please.